Hello and welcome back to another NHIG video. In this video we're going to be looking at structural T-welds. Structural T-welds are used as part of the fixing, ironwork or reinforcements. Here we have examples of a bridge I restored some time ago, the arches of which were held in position by such structural T-welds. And here is the bridge post-restoration. I have already produced the base for this T-weld, and we are now going to join this piece of 50x20 to that base. We will start by marking up the base. I'm going to choose a central point on that base. And mark a square line across this. This is to ensure that our T-weld sits perpendicular to the base. Having marked up the base, I will chisel in that line. This is because the chalk will disappear once the material gets hot. I will now get a nice bright heat on that base, and I will use a narrow fuller to emphasize that chisel line. I'm not going particularly deep. I just need a narrow fullering in here to mark that central point and provide a base for a wider fuller. As you can see, the wider fuller sits nicely in the narrow fuller and allows me to take a nice broad pass. This works much quicker with a Smith & Striker, however I work alone. At every stage it's important to ensure that your ironwork stays clean. This is to promote welding. And once I reach a certain width, I will stop. Next, we need to upset the foot in a swage in order to make it fit. As you can see, the fuller fits perfectly in this swage. I will therefore upset the foot in this swage in order to create the same radius. The foot is quenched off in order to not bend during the upsetting process. And it is then a case of upsetting it in the swage. We now have sufficient upset that the two will fit together nicely. I will then take a welding heat and tack them together. As this is a long weld, I have to walk the hammer along the width of the material. I'm then able to plunge the two back into the fire and bring them both up to a welding heat. This is a difficult weld, which is better produced with a two-person team. I will then come in with a fuller in order to weld the seam either side of the foot. And I will then work on dressing any distortion which has occurred during the welding process. If I choose to, I can then forge in some grips on the foot in order for it to better key with lead or concrete. And here we have the finished T-weld. We hope you've enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching.